LeBron James and the Lakers' legacy era. Introduction. In modern basketball, whenever greatness, pressure, and legacy are discussed, one name always stands at the center: LeBron James. A player who has dominated every stage of his career, from Cleveland to Miami, and eventually to Los Angeles, where expectations reached a completely different level. In 2018, LeBron James joined the Los Angeles Lakers. It was not just a team change, it was a turning point for a struggling franchise trying to find its identity again. The Lakers had already moved on from the Kobe Bryant era, and the team was in a rebuilding phase. But in Los Angeles, rebuilding is never an excuse. Only winning matters. Now, the pressure was on LeBron James to restore greatness to one of the most iconic franchises in sports history. From this moment, a new era begins, built on pressure, expectations, and legacy. Part 1. The arrival and the weight of expectations. When LeBron James arrived in Los Angeles in 2018, the entire NBA instantly shifted its focus. This was not just another free agency signing. It was a franchise-altering decision. The Los Angeles Lakers, a team built on decades of championships and legends, were entering a new and uncertain phase. At that time, the Lakers were far from their championship identity. Years of inconsistency had left the roster unstable, the chemistry incomplete, and the direction unclear. Yet despite all of this, the expectations in Los Angeles never changed. Because this is not a normal franchise. This is the Lakers, where success is not requested, it is demanded. LeBron James stepped into a situation where pressure existed from day one. Every game, every performance, and every decision would be analyzed under the brightest spotlight in sports. Fans expected immediate results. Media expected dominance, and history expected legacy. But what made this challenge even bigger was the reality of the roster around him. The Lakers were still building, still searching for the right balance of experience and youth. It was not a ready-made championship team. LeBron was no longer just a superstar joining a contender. He was now the foundation of a rebuild in the most pressure-heavy environment in basketball. Part 2. Struggle season and broken expectations. The first season of LeBron James in Los Angeles did not go the way anyone expected. From the outside, it looked like a guaranteed success story, a global superstar joining one of the most iconic franchises in sports history. But on the court, reality was very different. Injuries disrupted consistency, lineups kept changing, and the team never fully developed the chemistry needed to compete at a high level. Every time momentum started building, something would break it again. LeBron James, known for controlling games and elevating teams, found himself in unfamiliar territory, a season filled with instability and uncertainty. As losses started piling up, the pressure in Los Angeles grew heavier. The Lakers were not just losing games, they were losing direction. The identity that fans expected was not forming, and frustration began to spread across the franchise. By the end of the season, the Lakers failed to reach the playoffs. For a franchise built on championships, this was not just a disappointing result, it was a statement of failure. Media criticism became louder. Questions about LeBron's ability to rebuild a franchise started circulating. Some believed his best years were behind him, while others defended the idea that he simply needed time. But in Los Angeles, time is not something you were given freely. This season became a turning point, not because of success, but because it exposed the scale of the challenge ahead. Part 3. The turning point. Building a contender. After a disappointing first season, the pressure around LeBron James in Los Angeles reached a critical point. The franchise was still searching for identity, and the questions were becoming louder. Was this experiment failing, or was it simply incomplete? The Lakers front office understood one thing clearly. LeBron James alone was not enough in a competitive Western Conference. If the team was going to return to championship level, they needed another superstar. That moment arrived in 2019. the Lakers executed a major trade to bring in Anthony Davis. This move completely changed the direction of the franchise. For the first time since LeBron's arrival, the Lakers had a true championship core, a combination of elite playmaking and dominant defense. LeBron James became the primary facilitator, while Anthony Davis became the defensive anchor and second scoring force. Everything started to shift. The team's structure improved, defensive intensity increased, offensive balance returned, and most importantly, belief came back into the organization. What once looked like a struggling rebuild suddenly transformed into a legitimate championship contender. By the end of the season, the Lakers were no longer questioning their identity. They were preparing for a title run.
Part 4. The Bubble Season. Silence, Pressure, and Dominance. The 2020 NBA season entered one of the most unusual chapters in sports history. After the global shutdown, the league resumed inside a controlled environment known as the NBA bubble in Orlando. No home crowd, no travel, no external noise, just basketball, pressure, and mental strength. For the Los Angeles Lakers, this environment became a test of focus and discipline. Anthony Davis joined LeBron James as the team entered the restart as one of the strongest contenders in the league. The chemistry they had built before the shutdown now had to survive in isolation, under championship pressure. From the first games in the bubble, the Lakers showed control. Their defense tightened, their execution became sharper, and LeBron James in particular shifted into full playoff mode, controlling tempo, reading defenses, and setting the entire rhythm of the team. Every possession felt calculated. Every game felt intentional. As the playoffs progressed, the Lakers eliminated every challenge in their path. Physical teams, fast-paced teams, experienced teams, all were controlled through discipline and structure. By the time they reached the Western Conference Finals, it was clear the team was operating at a different level. They were no longer just contenders. They were a complete championship system. Part 5. The Finals. A legacy moment under pressure. The NBA Finals brought the final challenge, the Miami Heat, a young, hungry, and disciplined team built on energy and toughness. But the Lakers entered the series with a different mindset, experience, control, and purpose. From Game 1, the Lakers set the tone. Defense dictated the pace. Transition offense created separation. And LeBron James managed the game like a veteran, controlling history itself. Anthony Davis delivered dominant two-way performances, while the supporting cast executed their roles with precision. As the series progressed, the gap between the two teams became clear. The Lakers were not just playing better, they were more complete. And when the final buzzer of the championship series arrived, the result was official. The Los Angeles Lakers were NBA champions once again.
Part 6. More than a title. The Kobe Bryant tribute. Kobe Bryant. But this championship carried a weight far beyond basketball. The entire season had been emotionally tied to Kobe Bryant, whose sudden passing earlier that year had left a permanent impact on the franchise and the sport. For LeBron James and the Lakers, this title became more than a victory. It became a tribute. When LeBron lifted the trophy, it was not just celebration. It was remembrance, respect, and responsibility. A moment where legacy met emotion. Part 7. The beginning of a new legacy era. With the championship secured, the narrative around LeBron James in Los Angeles changed forever. What began as pressure and uncertainty had transformed into validation. The Lakers were no longer rebuilding. They were no longer questioning identity. They were back at the top of the basketball world. LeBron James had not just joined a franchise, he had revived it. But in the world of greatness, the story never truly ends. It only evolves. And for the Los Angeles Lakers,
A new legacy era had officially begun.
And that is how a new chapter of greatness was written in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Lakers. If you enjoyed this documentary story, don't forget to like, comment your favorite Lakers moment, and subscribe to Gold Banner Stories for more NBA documentary content. Because this is not just basketball. This is legacy.